Players and match officials took a knee and raised a fist before the resumption of Wednesday's game between PSG and Istanbul. Of course, this match saw the teams walk off in solidarity on Tuesday after the fourth official was accused of using a racial slur to talk about Pierre Weber, who was on the sideline wearing a No to Racism t-shirt. For this game, to the actual game, well, PSG winning by 5-1. Neymar with a hat-trick, Mbappe with a brace as well, meaning that PSG advanced top of the group. This was the Neymar show, Frank.
Yeah, it was. Well, don't forget it's against the last of the group, but Neymar shows that he's getting better and better. I think he had to go back to fitness before giving his best. So maybe he's back to his best. It's what I hope for Paris Saint-Germain and for the future in the Champions League for Paris Saint-Germain.
Meanwhile, you take a look then at how the group finished in Group D. Liverpool with a 1-1 draw against Michelin. Liverpool, of course, were already through. The big game was in Holland. Ajax taking on Atalanta. Ajax had to win that match. In the end, they lost by 1-0. Ajax just couldn't get it done, Stevie.
Well, not only could they not get it done, they were woefully short of getting even close to it. Listen, they had one chance in the game. It fell to Davy Klaassen, 8 yards out, only had the keeper to beat. And for a guy with his experience, it almost looked like he shut his eyes and hit it as hard as he could. And he hit it straight at the keeper. That was it. You know, for a side that had to go and win this game, they lacked imagination. They even lacked a little bit of heart, in my opinion, because I thought they would go and put Atalanta under pressure, but they just didn't. And quite honestly, they didn't deserve to get anything from this game. Muriel came on with 10, 15 minutes to go and scored a superb goal. But Ajax, deservedly out, certainly on this game, deserved nothing and absolutely got nothing.
Gab, is Stevie being harsh?
I don't think he's being harsh. I think what's interesting here is this was a totally different Atalanta performance than what we've seen before. They were a lot more defensive, a lot more covered up. Obviously, they felt that Ajax were going to come at them. And I think credit has to go to the manager and to the players, because obviously there was a huge internal confrontation between the manager Gasperini and his two-star players, Papu Gomez and Josip Ilicic. It's the reason Gomez and Ilicic didn't play at the weekend. They basically, in fact, got so bad that Gasperini actually resigned, and then the club said, no, we don't accept your resignation, go out and play. He may yet resign in the coming days because of what he considers to be insubordination. But for the fact that they could pull together and for the good of the club, come what may, and they may not be there when the Champions League resumes, the fact they could pull together in this way, in this game, I think says a lot about the character of these people.
Should Ajax have had a penalty, Frank?
Yes, I think so. I think Untola was pushed by the defender, and the defender maybe tried to play shoulder against shoulder, which is allowed, but he pushed him on his back. So it's definitely for me a penalty. And don't forget that Atalanta scored because I think they were 11 against 10. I think a player from Ajax was sent off just before for something, for me, didn't deserve a second yellow card because he was just trying to get to his balance and not smashing Gomez on the face. So Ajax didn't play well, maybe didn't deserve to go through, but you have to notify that there are two major decisions from the referee. For me, where was wrong.
Meanwhile, in Group A, it was an interesting circumstance in that I think anyone could have gone through. In the end, Atleti through. But we've had 4 different games on, and I felt like every time we watched this game, Salzburg were having chances.
Yes, they were. And this was indeed vintage Atletico Madrid, in which they're absorbing pressure. You're having to come up with saves. You're having to come up with last-ditch efforts defensively, slide tackles, and all sorts of different things on your own half. And then you score a goal in the set piece and, hey, we're fine, we're good, we're here. And then you're going to absorb some more pressure. This was more of the Atletico Madrid that we have expected and come to appreciate in some ways from Diego Simeone in years past, but it's not this year's Atletico Madrid. And yet, when it counts the most, when it's most important, when it's on the line, what does Simeone trust? He trusts defending first. He trusts parking that team on his defensive half. And at one point, we look at Joao Felix, who's your most attacking player or your most talented attacking player. He is 10 yards from the top of the circle, defending in his own half. And that's a starting line of confrontation. If you're Simeone, you'll take it, and in the end you say, hey, I was right all along. I knew what I was doing. This is what my team does, and I guess he was right. But it's not the way that this team right now, with the personnel that they have available, it's not the way that this team should be playing, and it's not the way that they should be getting results.
It is the absolute team, though, that everyone will want to avoid in the Champions League. Draw Manchester City, go through top, meanwhile, in Group C after a 3-0 victory over Marseille. Porto already through as well, beating Olympiacos by 2-0.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.